Vincent Thomas Strauber, row 4. Rafael Balza and Moritz Wolber, row 5, completing the top 10. Completing the top 20 is Janis Diak, Max Knappen, Louis Reichel, Austin Lee, Montego Masson, Richard Thomas, Louis Detling, Ole Glan, Leandro Fischer and Rafael Gwiczak. Completing the top 30 is Thijs Dams, Jonny Mertz, Tom Müller, Frederik Zebis, Magnus Pedersen, Jonas Ungnade, Maximilian Schreier, David Schnell, Leon Vacua and Luigi Gazzo. Running out the 34 strong, it's Mads Larsen, Tom Herger, Hugo Güttel and Gregor Feigenspann. So we go on to the formation lap, and a few drivers managed to secure themselves some penalties post-race. 4 front-fairing penalties. But when you send 34 Julie Rotax drivers into battle, expect the unexpected. Today, of all days, with the way that the weather has been, it's going to help some of those drivers that haven't had the best run of luck. But you see, well, obviously with the 3 races we've had so far, the 2 heats yesterday and the pre-final of the first race earlier on today, we saw that things can get rather up close. And when it gives you that inclination of when drivers end up unintentionally wanting to have an incident, we saw that in both races yesterday. We saw that in the race earlier on. Let's see what happens in their final race of the weekend. Farin Mega came into this round as the championship leader, and effectively he is holding on to that lead. But Rafael Rennhofer up to full fitness now after his accident at the Euro Trophy second round at Adria back in late May. He's back to full fitness and he's revved up and raring to go. So keep your eyes on him this afternoon. So, Mega versus Rennhofer on the front row. Will it be a clean start? That is the €64,000 question round about now. They come out of the final corner. They split. They head into the tram lines. The revs start to increase. Are we ready? We've got a good start and we are lights out and they are off and away as Mikkel Pedersen makes his way up into P2. And, Farin Mega keeps the lead. He went round the outside of Rafael Rennhofer as it's 3 abreast. At points on the circuit, a little bit further back, Vic Stevens and Thomas Strauben were looking to battle away in the top 10. Stiak's already dropped out of the top 11 as there is Nikita Genzer. He's got up into second position as the 2-2-6. Rennhofer around! Rennhofer around. There is carnage. And on that note, on the chicane and beached, Richard Thomas. Oh my goodness me, that has caused absolute carnage. I saw one of the drivers actually going across the chicane. Richard Thomas was beached. So literally, Rafael Rennhofer was battling away with one of the RS competition carts. I think that was, let me just have a look back, that was Mikkel Pedersen. And Rennhofer just touched the curb with the right rear and has spun him around 360. Well, spun him around 180, and he got away with that. Richard Thomas also got away with that, and that has changed everything. Richard Thomas also dropping down. Well, Richard Thomas has dropped down the order. Ole Glan amongst that. Hugo Gützel, Rafael Gwiczak. I mean, like, the names have got, and this has changed everything. So Nikita Genzer in second. He's going to start chasing down Farin Mega for the lead of the race and what could potentially be the race victory. Rennhofer has got a huge mountain to climb as now there are positional changes up and down the order. It is a scrabble for traction on the surface. It's slick, it's greasy, it will consistently evolve over the next 9 minutes, with the first 2 minutes being, I think, one of the most dramatic of the season so far. I said that the weather was an equaliser. Case in point, Austin Lee started 14th, 11th. Taysdams started 21st up to 13th position and climbing. Nikita Genza is closing in on Farin Mega and took over 3.5 tenths of a second out of the current points leader on the second lap alone and put in the fastest lap of anybody, a 1 minute 5.123. And quite a few other drivers trying to do what they can. Luigi Gazzo drops to 34th, having started in 30th position. There are waved yellows out on the track, and that looks to be coming from, I believe, turns 2 and 3. Because now there is one of the Dams racing carts, looks to be Vic Stevens, who completes the top 4. Mikkel Pedersen in 5th. Rafael Balzer rounds out the top 6. Austin Lee moves into the top 10, and he's got past Janis Diak, the next driver on his list, the 223, based out of Weisendorf. Is closing in on Max Knappen in the 248. Who rounds out the top 9. Now Luigi Gazzo is out of the race, and it looks like there are a couple of the medical team heading down the pit lane, going towards Parc Fermé at the moment as we speak. Not too sure what that is regarding, but it could be maybe to do with Luigi Gazzo. And hopefully Luigi's all right. 7 minutes, 10 seconds, plus an additional lap. Times are changing. Austin Lee up into 9th. Thomas Strauber past Kasper Schurmans for 7th. Magnus Pedersen up to 16th position. Lewis Reichel rounding out the top 11. There is Farin Mega. He is now extending his lead over Nikita Genza. Well, he was trying to extend it. He got it up to 1.1 seconds on the previous lap, but Nikita Genza has been on fire at the moment and has set the fastest lap. Genza, I think, is within half a second. They come across the line, 0.36. And Genza's just put it a 1 minute 4.4. Nevio Fischer coming along for the roller coaster ride, a 1 minute 4.662. Lewis Reichel, now the next person to get past Max Knappen for what is 10th on the road. Luigi Gazzo out of the race, it has been confirmed. So 33 drivers still circulating in this race. Nikita Genza looking to get on level terms with Farin Mega, and that is getting closer and closer by the second. So Farin Mega will have to just keep an eye on how close Nikita Genza actually gets. So that gap now is closing, and it's closing rapidly. Less than a kart length and a half separates the top 2 as they come across the line. Gap was 0.36, now 0.081. Nikita Genza puts in a 1 minute 4.645. Farin Mega having to run wide, but this is going to give an opportunity to Genza, who's in the slipstream, heading up towards the left-hander at turn 4. And Genza looks for the move. The door starts to open. Mega runs wide. Genza up the inside, now takes the lead on what is lap number 6. Nevio Fischer rounds out the top 3. Tom Müller drops to 23rd position. Magnus Pedersen up to 14th past Taysdams. Maximilian Schreier rounds out the top 18. Rafael Renhofer's run up the field. He's siding his way through it at the moment and giving no quarter to anyone that might want to try and put the dampeners on his race. After what we saw earlier, Rafael Renhofer now up into P21 and closing on the back bumper of the 258, Jonas Ungnada, who is in 20th position. Now that Nikita Genza has got some daylight between himself and Farin Mega, the 276 now finds himself coming under pressure from Nevio Fischer. Vic Stevens rounds out the top 4. Fischer looking for an opportunity to get past Mikkel Pedersen. Rounds out the top 5. Rafael Balzer, Thomas Strauber rounds out the top 7. Then it's Kasper Schurmans and Austin Lee. Austin Lee is trying to close in on Kasper Schurmans, and he's doing so by clawing out nearly 4 tenths of a second on that previous lap alone. Maybe give it another 2 or 3 laps, and Austin Lee could be passing Kasper Schurmans in the wet weather here at Mülsen for 8th on the road. As we've got yellow flags out again. That's on the approach down towards turn number 4, so someone could be dropping from the on the timing sheets. And that could be, I've got a feeling that, well, I was wondering who that was. Well, Tom Reger is in 33rd position, having started in, as there's been a moment, that is the 2:03 I've just seen, and that is Rafael Kvitschak, as Fine Mega and Nevio Fischer go toe-to-toe, nearly side pod to side pod, coming through the final corner. So dramas there for Rafael Kvitschak, who ran it out the top 20, yellow flags and double-waved yellows. So now that means, and there's been an incident at the far part of the circuit as well. So carts are starting to fall by the wayside. Yellow flags around the circuit. I'm waiting to see if a full course yellow gets employed. Not quite yet, because not all marshal posts have done so. Mikkel Pedersen gets past Vic Stevens and gets the job done. And the thing is that if that is an overtake carried out under yellow flag conditions, he might be penalised for it, but yellow flags were not waving at the marshal post. They got past after turn 4. I'll keep an eye on that one. Obviously, that is down to race control, because that kart of Rafael Kvitschak was out, and it's Janis Diak that's had a drama. Nevio Fischer trying to wrestle his way past Fine Mega, and they get ever so close to the wall, nearly a repeat of what happened with Luca Köster last year, who took a victory while slamming into the sidewall. And there's been now I've just seen one of the as there's more dramas still here at Mülsen, as there are yellow flags. That's double waved yellows, that looks to be, and that means no overtaking. And prepared to slow down. So Janis Diak and Rafael Kvitschak, the latest casualties out of the 34. So Luigi Gazzo out on lap 2, Kvitschak and Stiak out on lap number 7. On lap number 8 at the moment, and Nikita Genza has pulled away and has consistently been running in the 1 minute 4s, the mid to high 1 minute 4s, the 1 minute 4.6 in the previous tour. Fine Mega staying ahead of Nevio Fischer. The way things are going, Rafael Renhoff got himself into the points. That's a great resurgence. He's back up into 15th position. It's over 60 seconds to go on the clock. And there's Rafael Balzer being chased back again by Mikkel Pedersen, who's looking up the inside to go through for the place. That's for 5th on the road. Rafael Balzer, who's top rookie last year in this class, now has to fight like everyone else does. And he's showing good prowess on the Sodi kart, and with the Buda Racing team, same stable as Nikita Genza. So Balzer will be able to call on a lot of experience. So very soon, the clock will strike 0. Nevio Fischer gets up the inside finally. After lap of trying, he gets past. And Maximilian Schreier is actually in front of the current leader. Needs to get out of the way rather quickly. That's not a battle for position. And Nikita Genza dispenses with Maximilian Schreier rather quickly. The way that Nikita Genza was closing on Maximilian Schreier was quite hefty, considering the fact that Schreier did a 1 minute 44 on that last lap. So number 266 having a bit of a difficult end to the weekend. But we are now on the 11th and penultimate lap of this race. Lap 12 will soon be upon us, and it will bring out the last lap board for juniors this weekend here at Arena E in Mülsen, die Katharina Deutschlands. But Nikita Genza wanted to fire a warning shot, and now he's got the opportunity to do so. He's going to pass Tom Reger as the last lap board comes out. Reger keeps out of the way. Good call by the number 288. Maximilian Schreier has pulled the car in. It looks like no, he hasn't. Quick change from the dreaded blue disc on the timing. And Nikita Genza didn't lose much time behind Maximilian Schreier. Mikkel Pedersen back in front of Rafael Balza. In the dying moments of this race, we're on the 12th and final lap. Nikita Genza wanted to get into this title fight. This wet weather has been an opportunity waiting in the wings, as the 226 from Bühler Kart Racing Team is just now 2 corners away. 12 laps of racing here in the second junior Rotax race on finals day, as the right rear wheel lifts into the air going through the penultimate right-hander, and out of the final corner the checkered flag waves, and it waves for Nikita Genza, who fist bumps to himself saying, yes, I've got it. Nevio Fischer rounds out the top 2 ahead of Farin Mega, with Fischer taking lap after lap to try and get past, and he did it with a couple to go. Mega, I think, still leads the championship standings after this race weekend, and will go into the penultimate round at Kart Club Kerpen Mannheim in 42 days to try and solidify a championship lead going into the season finale at Wittgenborn between the 2nd and the 3rd of October. Mikkel Pedersen, 4th ahead of Vic Stevens, Thomas Strauber, Rafael Balza, Kasper Schumann's a great showing from Austin Lee from 14th on the grid to finish 9th ahead of Magnus Pedersen. Max Knappen in 11th ahead of Louis Heichel. Thijs Downs from 21st to 13th at the flag. The recovery drive from Rafael Renhofer showcased what we did miss at the front of the field. He ended up 14th, having started on 2nd position alongside Farin Mega. Montego Massin 15th ahead of Leandro Fischer, Jonas Ungnada, Moritz Wolber, Louis Detling, with Tom Müller rounding out the top 20. Leon Vakula, Frederick Zebis, David Schnell, Gregor Feigenspann, Olli Glan, Richard Thomas, Mads Larsen, Hugo Gürtel, Jonny Mertz, Tom Reger, Maximilian Schreier all finished the race, with Janis Dieck out on lap 6 along with Rafael Gwijak and Luigi Gazzo out on lap number 2.